Good morning, friends. Today I am going to explain the important concept in macroeconomics called multiplier. So, when we start to understand the concept of multiplier, we have to keep in our mind one thing that one person's spending becomes another person's income. Okay, so this point is very important. Keep in your mind whenever we start studying about the multiplier effect. That point is one person's spending becomes another person's income. Okay, and the concept of the multiplier was first introduced by R.F. Khan and used the multiplier as an employment multiplier. And later, the multiplier concept was developed by John Maynard Keynes and used as an investment multiplier in his book The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. The multiplier explains how a small increase in investment, how a small increase in investment creates a large increase in national income and employment. I give one example. Suppose a government spends money or invests on construction of road or bridge. Workers who involved in the construction of road or bridge, they will earn the income. In that income, half of amount they will spend on clothes, foods or basic needs. And then shopkeepers will earn the income. Here is the workers' spending becomes shopkeepers' income. As I told earlier, one person's spending becomes another person's income. So, here in the example, workers' spending becomes shopkeepers' income, and shopkeepers again spend half of amount on the consumption. So this chain continuously happen. So this is the process of the multiplier. So multiplier wrappers means the multiple increase in national income resulting from an initial increase in investment. Okay, the multiplier concept mainly tells about so how increase in income level due to increase in the initial investment, or how that initial investment generate or creates the multiple large amount of the income. With the here we can see formula. So K equal to delta Y upon delta I. So K present multiplier, delta I, delta Y present change in income level, and delta I present change in investment. Here we can see example. Delta I means change in investment. 100 crore. Example 100 crore. Initial investment, changes in initial investment. And changes in the income level is 200 crore. So multiplier is 2. It means that in initial investment means 100 crore creates the 200 crore income level. Therefore, the multiplier is 2. And multiplier depends on MPC, marginal propensity to consume. Another formula which includes MPC, K equal to 1 upon 1 minus MPC. These are the understanding of the multiplier concept and equations of the multiplier. Next, we can come to understand working of multiplier. Working of the multiplier. We can assume MPC equal to 0.5 or 50%. With help of the table, we can understand how multiplier works. There are 4 columns are there. Periods. In the first column, periods. First period, second period, third period, fourth period, like that. And second column presents delta I, means change in investment, in crore, initial investment. And third column present change in income, delta Y, change in income in crore. And fourth column presents delta C, means change in consumption in crore. So we can understand in initial investment increased means 100 crore rupees. It generate 100 crore income level. In 100 crore income, a firm or any an individual, half of amount because we assumed MPC is 0.5 or 50%. Okay, in their 100 crore rupees income, 50 crore, half of amount they will use for the consumption purpose or spend on goods and services. 50 crore rupees. This 50 crore rupees of spending of a person's becomes income to other persons. Other person. And this other person got 50 crore rupees income. Again, in that income, half of the amount of the income he will use for the spend for the 25 crore on the consumption. This person's spending 25 crore rupees becomes income to other person. Okay, 25 crore. Again, same chain continuously happen. One person's spending becomes to other person's income. This chain continuously happen. Okay, is consumption to income, income to consumption. This chain up to go to the creating the 200 crore rupees income rupees. 200 crore rupees income create the income level. from the initial investment 100 crore rupees. But how we can calculate, how we know 200 crore? With the equations we can calculate. See, we assumed MPC is the 0.5. So multiplier equation we can see K equal to 1 upon 1 minus MPC and equal to 1 upon 1 minus 0.5. This is the MPC. 0.5 is the our MPC and 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. So finally 1 upon 0.5 we can got the 2. This is the multiplier. 2 is the multiplier. Now question is, we know MPC level, K also we know. MPC is 0.5, K is multiplier is 2, we know. And now question is, how we can calculate the changes in the income level. Here K, delta Y upon delta I. Change in income upon change in investment. Okay, or change in income due to change in initial investment. Here is we have to calculate the income level, how much income level increased. Delta Y equal to delta I into K multiplier. So delta I, changes in the investment, how much is there? 100. Initial investment 100. So how much is there? That multiplier 2 is there. So we have to multiply into to the initial investment. We can get the 200. So this is the 200. It means that increase in the 200 income, 200 crore income due to, so increase in the initial investment is the 100 crore rupees. This is the working of the multiplier. This is the process of the multiplier. How the initial investment, example 100 crore rupees, creates the 200 crore rupees of the income level. This is the understanding of the multiplier concept. I hope you understood this concept of the multiplier. The next point is the leakage of multiplier. Leakage of multiplier. So which factors mainly influence on in reducing the size of the multiplier effect or leakage of multiplier? Mainly there are 4 factors like saving, taxes, imports, debt repayment. These 4 factors influence on reducing the size of the multiplier effect or influence on the leakage of multiplier. How saving will influence? Suppose a person earns income. In the income, instead of 50% of the income, 80% or 90% of the income he will save instead of consumption. Then consumption will stop or consumption will be very less, and then it won't work in the multiplier effect. Multiplier effect won't work, or the multiplier effect will be less when a person's saving is more than the consumption. This is the one of the factors influence on the leakage of multiplier. And next is taxes. Suppose a person he has to pay more taxes, and then disposable income will be reduced. He won't spend on consumption purpose. Then the multiplier effect will be small or less. So this is also one of the factor for reasoning to the leakage of multiplier or reducing the size of the multiplier effect. The next point is imports. Imports. When a person or a firm import goods from the other countries, the person or a firm has to pay money to the other person to the other country of the other countries. In this process, the multiplier effect will be less in the domestic country because money goes to other country. He imports goods or services from the other countries. Obviously, income, that person's income or spending amount will go to the other person, other country, not in our countries. So multiplier effect will be less or reduced in the our country. This is also one of the important factors to reduce the multiplier effect. And next point is debt repayment. Yes, a person in their in as income or a firm in as in that firm's income, most of the income used for the debt repayment instead of consumption. Then there is no any consumption and it won't also create the income to the other person. Then it is directly or indirectly will affect influence on the reduce the multiplier effect or influence on the leakage of multiplier. So these are the main factors so influence on the leakage of multiplier. And I hope you understood the concept of multiplier and how multiplier works and leakage of multiplier means which factors mainly influence on leakage of multiplier or reducing the effect size of a multiplier. So thank you for watching. I will come with another one concept of macroeconomics in another video. Thank you.